welcome. Welcome. Throw in the chat where you're from, how you're feeling. We'll get started here in about a minute or two. This will be about a 2-ish hour, maybe a little less than that, workshop. And I'm happy you're all here. You get to see my new mustache, my new look, but I'm growing my beard back out. Let's see here. We got Glen Cove, New York, McHugh, Diana from Connecticut. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear the music also? Awesome. I see some head nods. Love seeing all the faces here. We got Troy, New York, Bruna from Michigan. Yes. Cape Cod, Vermont, Sarah from Denver, Pittsburgh. I was just there a couple weeks ago. Elaine from Oregon, Dublin, Ireland. Yes. Okay. I got to keep admitting people in here. This is amazing that you're all here. I love doing these. I really do. I love doing these. So while we're waiting for everybody to come in, I want to know from you, throw in the chat why you want to take this workshop. So throw in the chat, maybe brainstorm a little bit and then throw in the chat why you want to take this workshop. I'll read some of them. Thank you. Mav, Yogi Bryan is a good time. Let's see. Learn to breathe. Yes, we'll do that for sure. Slow the fuck down. Oh yeah, and just a heads up, if you haven't really seen much of my content, I do like the F word and I like to curse. So if that, if you don't like that, this might not be the best workshop or time for you. Let's see, release fucks and learn more. Yes. See, Amber says, I found you a year ago. Relaxation and laughter. Yes, we'll get some laughter here. Sometimes I chase squirrels and go down rabbit holes, so that probably will happen today.
What do you see?
Let's see here. Relax the nips. You know it. We're going to relax the nips here. All right, let me turn this music off. Shout out to DJ Taz Rashid. I use his music all the time. He's great. He is on Spotify and everywhere. If you haven't heard of him. All right here. So let's get started. Thanks for throwing in the chat why you are here. Let's calm the fuck down, Kate in the UK. So yeah, this is a 2-hour workshop. I'm going to share with you my meditation practice. Just a little bit about me. I started meditation back in 2019. I had been practicing yoga. So let me fast forward back to 2016 is when I started an Instagram account to make fun of yoga. I never intended to be a yoga teacher or practice yoga. I just started this practice. I started this Instagram to make fun of yoga. My first couple of poses, I had no clue what I was doing. Just looking back at what I was doing is embarrassing. But that became popular. I think I had like 1,000 followers at the time. I thought I was super famous. And I was asked to do a yoga challenge on Instagram. So I figured, well, I should join a yoga studio to make fun of yoga more. So I joined this yoga studio that vibed with me. And at the time I was going through a rough divorce, child custody bullshit. Like it was just rough, a rough time. And the yoga practice that I was trying to just make fun of saved my life. I was feeling better. I lost like 20 pounds. I wasn't as angry. I was a little calmer during the whole court process. And I ended up just loving the practice. I signed up for yoga teacher training. And it was one of those things where I had heard early on that if you practice yoga, the universe takes care of the rest. So that was one thing. Brian Kest, he's an amazing teacher, yoga teacher. I was watching a YouTube about him talking about his teacher. And his teacher told him, yeah, practice yoga and the universe will take care of the rest. And that's been true for me. I practice yoga and really the universe just works out and takes care of the rest. So I ended up becoming a yoga teacher back in 2017, taught at the local studio, taught at Lifetime Fitness. And fast forward 2019, I wanted to get my practice deeper and I wanted to start a meditation practice. So I told myself, I'm going to meditate for 90 days straight. No matter how long the duration, I'm just going to do it 90 days straight. And then if I don't like meditation afterwards, I'll quit. So I started on Insight Timer. It's an amazing app. It's a free app. Started on Insight Timer. David G was one of my first teachers on Insight Timer. He has a great morning meditation practice. And I didn't like meditation for the first 77 days. Like I hated it for the first 77 days. So that's why when I teach you some of these meditations thing, consistency is the key, really. I didn't like meditation for 76 days. Day 77, it just clicked for me. I realized that I was more aware. I was calmer. I was able to manifest, transform my life. I was able to see my problems differently. And it just really gave me more awareness in my life. Just more awareness in my life. Like, where am I? Where do I need to go? What are my goals? What would I like to manifest? What is the problem? So it just gave me a lot of clarity. And ever since that 77 day, it just clicked. I've meditated pretty much every day since. And I do a morning meditation practice. So I do it first thing in the morning, and I normally meditate for 20 minutes. And I'll get into that a little bit more. My meditation practice. So since then, I've dived deep into hypnotherapy. I have 5 hypnotherapy certifications. I really loved Michael Seeley. He's on YouTube, and I realized that I could fall asleep to sleep hypnosis. I had problems sleeping. I struggled with anxiety and depression. So that sleep hypnosis really got me to sleep. Michael Seeley on YouTube, highly recommend him. And then I started dabbling with my own hypnotherapy. Dr. David Snyder is my teacher, several hypnotherapy certifications with him. I realized that guided meditation, especially creative visualization meditation, is just like hypnosis. And I was able to use hypnosis to reprogram my subconscious mind. I listened to hypnosis, subconscious reprogramming every night for like 3 years, completely transformed my life. And I have the Relax with Yogi Bryan podcast. So Relax with Yogi Bryan podcast, I started that in 2020. During the pandemic, I was like, I need something to do. I'm stuck at home. What the fuck? Maybe I can help the world out a little bit. So I just started creating meditations on that podcast over and over again consistently. And then thanks to all you, thanks to everybody listening, it has over 3 million downloads, and it's just keeps going up. So I really love sharing my practice. My goal is to help the world release 100 billion fucks. So that's my goal. Fucks are like stress, worries, cares. So that's really my goal. And the reason why I do workshops like this is because, I'm just one person. I can't have as much of an impact. So I need you all. I need you all to share these practices. You get these practices. I'm sharing them with you, share them with somebody else. And then let's create that ripple effect. So yes, that's a little bit about me. And let's start. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to post this on YouTube after. So I'm recording it. So I'm going to post it on YouTube. So we went over that. What do you want? Went over who I am. And I start with this in all my workshops that I do is be gentle with yourself. One of the best ways to reprogram your mind is to tell yourself, I like myself. I got this from Brian Tracy. He said, one of the biggest ways to improve your self-esteem is to say, I like myself. Say it first thing in the morning when you wake up. And especially when you're starting a new practice like this, when you're starting a meditation practice or when you're starting a yoga practice, be gentle with yourself. It might not be easy when you start. Emotions might come up, and that's normal. Sometimes meditation is not easy and emotions come up, and just allow them to come up, but be gentle with yourself. Say you like yourself. I mean, think about it. How many times do we say I like myself throughout the day? 0, maybe. I know I didn't when I first started learning this. And one thing I've also learned too is you treat yourself like your number one customer. Just try and treat yourself like your number one customer, number one client. We treat that person so nice and we go out of our way and do so much. But it's like, when do we do that for ourselves? So, especially when we start a meditation practice, be fucking gentle with yourself. It's okay. It's going to take some time. It takes time. So, yeah, write that down. And hopefully, if you have a pen and paper, we're going to be taking some notes here. But again, the replay will be out on YouTube. I'm also going to put this on my app. So some of the benefits of meditation, there's so many benefits. Couple awesome benefits is stress reducer, fuck releaser. It's science. Meditation has been found to reduce stress and anxiety. A study published in the Journal of American Medical Association found that mindfulness meditation reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression by 38% and stress by 31%. I mean, I like those numbers. Those numbers make the nips tingle. I like that. Meditation is some good medicine. Oops, trigger happy here. And then also, it improves focus and concentration. So meditation has been found to improve cognitive performance, including attention, memory, and executive function. A study published in the Journal of Cognitive Enhancement found that regular meditation led to improvements in cognitive control, working memory, and selective attention. So basically, you can focus better. You can figure out where you're going, problem solving. And really meditation is about awareness. So my teacher told me what's outside of your awareness is outside of your control. So what does that mean? Well, it means if you're not aware of it, it's controlling you. For example, have you ever recorded yourself and realized that you say all the time, or if you have a nervous twitch in your eye, or if you stutter or something like that? Well, you weren't aware of it until you recorded yourself. And then once you were aware of it, you're able to change it. For example, for me, when I first started the Yogi Show podcast with my friend Pedro, we were recording and I realized that I was stuttering a little bit. So I realized that I had to slow the fuck down. I was able to figure out ways to slow down and ways to stop a stutter. I didn't know that before. So it's like what's outside of your awareness is what's outside of your control. So the great thing with meditation is you become more and more aware of yourself, which is like, holy fuck. Sometimes I didn't want to be aware of this. But it's like once you're aware of it, you see it, you can change it. You have a choice, right? You have a choice to change it if you like. So it's really meditation, especially mindfulness, is about awareness. So make meditation a habit. Start small. And I highly suggest take 60 to 90 days to develop this habit. Start with 2 minutes a day, or maybe 30 seconds a day. A really good book recommendation is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's an amazing book, just shows you how to develop small habits and how small habits have such a huge impact. For example, he talks about in his book that there was a guy that lost 100 pounds. And for the first 30 days, I believe for the first 30 or 60 days, all he did was go to the gym, open the door, and do one workout and leave. That's it. He just went on one machine and left. But the hardest part of starting that process was just opening the gym door, right? So for a meditation practice, the hardest thing to do is just fucking starting it. Even if it's taking 2 minutes a day or 30 seconds a day, just consistently do it. I mean, I know some people that just started meditation, they loved it right when they started. For me, it took 77 days for it to just change my life and have a huge impact on what I'm doing and have a meditation podcast, and I'm leading this right now here for you. So it takes time. Develop that practice. They say to start a habit, to build a habit, it takes about 60 to 90 days for your brain to get that habit. So start small. I tried to start a meditation practice several times before I did the 90-day challenge. And I was starting out with like 20 minutes and it was torture. It was fucking torture. But 2 minutes, 30 seconds, that's doable. So just start small, make meditation a habit. And then getting started. So for your environment, when I first was trying to start a meditation practice, I got so caught up with my environment. I'm like, I need a Buddha, I need incense, I need candles, like I need a shrine, like where do I put this in my place? Like, and I spent so much time and energy and money trying to build the right environment, and I never started meditating. So just keep it real simple. Find a place. So step one, just find a place that is your go-to meditation spot. Okay. It could be in your car, as long as you're not driving. There's driving meditations, but stay alert. But maybe it's in your car on your 10-minute break at work. Or maybe it's a corner of your space, of your house. That's just your meditation spot. Preferably not in your bed, like lying down, because you want to make this spot your go-to spot so your brain automatically knows that, hey, this is my meditation time. So you're training your brain for like meditation time. So for example, my meditation spot is right next to my bed. I have a meditation cushion right next to my bed, and I just meditate right there, just right next to it on the floor, next to my bed. David G calls it RPM, rise, pee, meditate. So like he wakes up in the morning, pees, meditates. Got to get the bladder empty, right? You don't want to be sitting there like, oh, fuck, I have to pee. But yeah, just find a place and maybe brainstorm right now a place in your space where that's your go-to meditation spot. And even in the Atomic Habits, James Clear says, you make spots in your place for like work, rest, bedtime. So your brain and your body the physiology of it just goes there. So do some brainstorming. You can do it now, later, and just pick a spot. That's your go-to spot that you can go to every day. And like I said, start small. So just go there, sit, breathe, and then leave. Like just get in the habit of sitting in that spot. And don't overthink it. You don't need a shrine, but you can have fun with it. Maybe if you like incense, candles, a picture of a teacher, you can have fun with it, but just don't overthink it. Like you don't need to build a shrine. And find a place that has somewhat minimal distractions, but it doesn't have to be super quiet. I mean, if you got kids, dogs, things like that, you can use those as, your awareness. I'm aware of the dog sniffing my ass. I'm aware of the kids fucking yelling. I'm aware of this. I mean, if the dog's nose is up your butt, that's probably gonna be hard to meditate, but maybe you have to pick a different time. So yeah, find a meditation spot that's yours. Don't overthink it. Somewhere that's minimal distractions. And again, you can do it in your car. I have a lot of students that they say they go out to their car on their lunch break at work, put on headphones, and they meditate for 2 minutes. So your posture. So preferably spine upright. So you can do this with crisscross applesauce legs on a meditation cushion, or you can do this on a chair. A lot of students get caught up with, I need the lotus position. I need to cross my legs and look like a pretzel. It's not, you don't have to. You can sit on a chair. You just keep your spine upright. That's preferred. Because when you keep your spine upright, you can stay awake more. if you lie down, you may fall asleep, but your body might need that. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you fall asleep during meditation, especially during yoga nidra, which we'll go in. That's amazing to do that lying down, and it's an amazing practice. So yeah, you can sit on a chair, meditation cushion, couch, or bar stool, if that's your thing. Anything that's comfortable. And then if you want to do cross-legged or lotus posture, more advanced, I mean, that's a more advanced class. Maybe that's the next course I do. But yeah, lotus posture, you can Google that. It'll tell you how to get into it. We're not going to get into that today. It's more advanced. But yeah, easiest way is just do it in a chair or meditation cushion. I have a good recommendation, Ajna Wellbeing, AJNA Wellbeing. They make great meditation cushions. That's the one I use in all my videos on Instagram. I get like 10 DMs a day. Like, where do you get your meditation cushion? So we'll just get it out of the way right now. Great company too. Any questions? Now, I don't read the chats until we get to the question area. So if you want to hold the questions until question time, I should have went over that at the beginning. But yeah, I go over questions all throughout this workshop. So any questions on what we just covered? Let's see. Penny says, my hips still carry too much trauma to sit comfortable cross-legged. I feel that. I feel that. But yeah, throw in the chat if you have any questions. No questions. Let's see here. We got one. Oh, thank you, Penny. Thank you. Penny says, not a question, just love your work. I promise I didn't pay you to say that. Jessica asked, can your yoga location change on the fly? Yes, it can change. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely set. It's just good to have a set location so your mind automatically goes to that spot, especially meditating. You know, sometimes if we're in different locations, it's just going to be harder to drop in, which is fine. And we'll go over techniques about that. Tina asked, should I set an alarm for meditation or should it be more organic? I prefer setting an alarm, and I set a 20-minute alarm in the morning. I prefer that. There's times where I like to just flow it out and just see what happens. Sometimes my best insights happen after like 20 minutes, around the 30-minute zone. But I mean, it took me time to get there. So when you first start, I would say set a timer for like 2 minutes. I would say 2 minutes would be the longest time duration when you first start a practice, because that gives you enough. We're going to feel that 2 minutes is like 2 fucking hours. Like, when is this ending? Right? There's some meditations that I do, because I do 20 minutes every morning. There's some meditations where I feel this is like 2 hours. Holy crap. When is this going to end? And then there's other meditations where it just goes smooth and fast. So you'll get that. Let's see. Josh says, I've had my hips and shoulders replaced. Will that be an issue? I would just say, just like a yoga practice, if you feel stretch and tension when you're sitting in the posture, that's good for the body. But if you feel sharp pain, get out of it. But I do recommend talking to your doctor to see what's recommended. I would just stick with sitting on a chair. Keep your feet on the ground. Tanya asks, will we cover consistency with the practice? I find that I fall in and out with my practice, and it definitely takes a toll on me long-term. Also, at this point, I find I can't meditate without some sort of guide. Yes, we'll get into that. The consistency part, we already went through. I just recommend you find a time throughout the day and just get as consistent that you can for the 90 days. Because once you hit 60-ish days, 70-ish days, that's when the habit starts. So I highly recommend everybody start, like, just challenge yourself to 90 days. I know that might seem a long time. If you miss a day, fuck it. What I had to do is I was on a 270-day streak, And I found out that I was like obsessed with the streak. And my meditation practice wasn't as deep because I'm like, I need to get this meditation in. So I broke my streak just to fuck my ego up and to start over and to just be like, hey, this is a daily practice. So if you miss a day or two, don't worry. In that Atomic Habit book, it says that if you miss a day, that's okay. Just try not to miss 2 days. Because if you miss 2 days, then it's easier to miss 3. It's just easier to start that over. I'm going to take one more question here. Sue asked, did you start with guided, silent, mix? I started with guided, and I'll get more into that, but I started with the guided meditation. A great recommendation is on Insight Timer, David G, My Morning Practice. I mean, I have an app too, and I have meditations, but I'm not here to promote my shit. I'm here to just share my practice. If I do promote stuff, then it happens. But yeah, to start off, David G, My Morning Practice is amazing on Insight Timer. I also have a beginner meditation challenge on my app. Good questions. Let's move on here. Okay, so here are the types of meditations, and some of your questions were about this. So different types of meditations. I'll go over some of these. I practice mindfulness meditation and creative visualizations. And some of these are practices that I know of that I've practiced like once or twice. So mindfulness practice, that's the main practice we're doing here. And we're going to do some meditations during this workshop. So mindfulness meditation, it's about awareness. So you could do a mindful meditation right now, just being aware of what I'm talking, aware of what the sounds in your room. Or if you're like, I'm not aware of something, that's awareness. So that's mindfulness practice. You can do a mindfulness practice walking, just being aware of your feet touching the ground. You can be aware of your breath. You can be aware of your thoughts. There's really nothing to do or control with a mindfulness practice. You're not shutting off your mind. You're just being aware of the thoughts, aware of your body, aware of your breath, aware of what's coming up, aware of the environment. So that's mindfulness. And you don't have to do that seated. You can do that. You can do a mindful meditation all day. And then we got spiritual meditation. So based on whatever religion a person practices, they can do different spiritual meditations. New moon, full moon. These are some of my favorites. I love doing these. I have them on my app, on my podcast. The new moon is a great way to set intentions. It's the start of a cycle. There's so many good new moon meditations out there. So if you're looking to set intentions or start something new or manifest, a good new moon meditation will get you started. And then full moon meditations, that is acting like a spotlight. So you imagine the full moon, the light, acting like a spotlight onto your life. So with the full moon meditation, it shows you, hey, what's working in my life and then what's not working. So it's a good assessment of where your intention's at the moment. It's also really good for healing. Full moon energy just cleanses the body, heals, very good emotionally. And then you got movement meditations. So one of my favorite movement meditations other than yoga is Qigong. I practice Qigong almost daily. There is a good Qigong practice on YouTube. It's called the 8 Brocade. So the number 8 and then Brocade, Brocade. And if you search that on YouTube, there's a 20-minute practice. It'll be like one of the first thing that comes up. It has like 20 million views. It's a great practice to just do moving meditation. 20 minutes. Sometimes I feel like I'm just lost in time and space because you're breathing, you're moving, it's very slow. And it's good for just all body types. If you have any injuries, things like that, I always suggest talk to your doctor before starting any type of practice like that because I'm not a fucking doctor. So I just look like one with my hat. I just play one on TV. So that is movement. Also, yoga is great. Yoga is amazing. A lot of good yoga Yoga with Adrian on YouTube is a great way to start. I got fucking YouTube videos, check them out. And there's yoga classes on my app. But I always tell people, hey, where do I start? Hey, check out Yoga with Adrian. She has a lot of beginner meditations and she's on YouTube and it's very accessible. Also, then there's mantra-based meditation. So there's affirmations and mantras. Affirmations are positive statements in the present moment. So like, I am grateful. I am love, things like that. Affirmation meditations are great for subconscious reprogramming. I listen to a subconscious reprogramming every night. That's 8 hours. That just goes over affirmations all night. One YouTube channel that's really great is Growing Forever. They have a lot of subconscious reprogrammings and you can listen to that at night. It's basically you sleep, you listen to affirmations, and you reprogram your mind. One of the best times to reprogram your mind is right before you sleep and right when you wake up in the morning, because your brain is just in an open brainwave state, which we'll go over a little later in this workshop. So the difference between affirmation meditations is mantra is like you're basically humming it like Om, and you're saying that over and over again, like a repetitive sound, and you get that humming and that vibration and you feel it in your ears, your body, and you just feel good. So there's a lot of good mantra-based meditations on YouTube as well. There's like an 8-hour continuous Om meditation that you can find. I mean, you just search that on YouTube and you'll find a fuck ton. Transcendental meditation. That's the type of meditation where you get like a mantra, like an affirmation, and it's like repetitive. You say it over and over again. I don't practice that, so I'm not an expert at transcendental meditation, but I hear it's awesome. Yoga Nidra is one of my favorite practices. I love Yoga Nidra. Highly recommend you check out Yoga Nidra. On my Relax with Yogi Bryan podcast, the Yoga Nidras that I do are the most popular because they help you fall asleep. They say 2 hours, not 2 hours, 20 minutes of Yoga Nidra is equivalent to 2 hours of restful sleep. I haven't found one fucking scientific article that backs that up, but I feel that when I do a 20-minute Yoga Nidra session, I feel like I got the best power nap. It is amazing, and my heart rate lowers. I got one of these Oura rings that's awesome that like measures my heart rate. Highly recommend it. But my heart rate lowers so much, and I go into like such a restful state. So check out Yoga Nidra, and it's basically a guided practice where you put headphones in and it guides you through like progressive relaxation. It's pretty much hypnosis. It's just called Yoga Nidra. And then you got love and kindness meditation. So love and kindness is a tough meditation for me. And from what I've talked to some of my students, it's a tough meditation for them too. Love and kindness, you basically are giving love and kindness to yourself, to your family members, to friends, to loved ones, and then to someone that you don't like. So sometimes it's a little challenging. It's like, I don't want to fucking do that. But it's such a good practice. Like that compassion that comes out of it. It's really good for you. You know, even if you don't want to forgive the person or whatever, just sending them love and kindness, it just really helps our hearts and our souls. And now all these types of meditations, I recommend starting with guided meditations, because like, where the fuck am I going to start, right? I would start with guided meditations. So meditation resources, Insight Timer is a great place. Of course, my app's a great place. My podcast, it's just fucking meditation for R-rated, and then Relax with Yogi Bryan. Headspace is awesome. I've tried all these. Headspace is awesome. The Calm app is awesome. And Spotify is really getting into meditations as well. Pretty much anywhere that you stream, you can find meditations there. But I would start with a guided meditation and then meditation music. So this is just a list of some of the meditation music. I'm not going to go over it all, but I will go over binaural beats in this workshop. It's coming up. And then when should I meditate? When should I meditate? So the easy answer to this is whenever you fucking can. Whenever is easiest for you. But I'll give you some benefits of morning and late meditation. So the benefits of morning meditation, the world around is relatively calm and quiet and still. Normally the kids are asleep or the dog's in the kennel or maybe the dog's outside. If you're like, fuck you, kennels. I don't like kennels. Normally it's quiet. We're likely at home in a quiet space. Our minds are just fresh and ready to go. And it ensures in the morning that we get it done. Personally, I have to do it in the morning or it doesn't happen for me. I try to do them in the afternoon. I just get caught up in my day. I do it in the morning first thing, that RPM, rise, P, meditate. Shout out David G. And then morning meditation sets the tone for the day. Your stomach is normally empty, which is traditionally considered beneficial. You're not using that energy to digest. You're using that energy to manifest or set your intention or just find yourself. And pre-dawn, it's just an auspicious time to meditate. It feels good. Start your day off right. And then benefits of a late day meditation. So maybe an evening meditation. So normally your tasks are mostly accomplished. Maybe it's after work and you can just take a nice little reset, or maybe it's in your car at your lunch, or maybe it's before you go to sleep and you just need to relax a little bit. Yeah, that afternoon meditation creates a space between work life and home life. So I was taught to meditate twice a day. I try and do that, but normally it's once a day. My teacher told me meditate first thing in the morning and then meditate after like your work tasks are done. So you have that space between work and then life. You can just kind of check in, check out, process your day, and then just go into something else. And then for you, evenings may feel quieter than the day. Like maybe mornings are too hectic and evenings are quieter for you. And your evening meditation can improve sleep. But one thing I recommend, if you do yoga nidra, do it before 3 p.m. Because if you do yoga nidra after that, it might affect your sleep. But there is yoga nidras for sleep, and that'll get you to sleep. I highly recommend sleep meditation, sleep hypnosis, yoga nidra, sleep nidras. If you have problems sleeping, it's hypnotic. It'll put you to sleep. That's my main specialty, is putting people to sleep in a good way, And then some must-haves: calm environment, low lighting, muted distractions, meditation pillow. I mean, I love that stuff. If you want to really get into it, aromatherapy, candles, essential oils, good meditation music. I love aromatherapy. Right now, I got my diffuser on. I got a candle right here, and I got Nag Champa. I love my aromatherapy and candles. If you probably saw one of my recent Instagrams, I almost burned my house down. Be careful when you're fucking around with incense. Before a meditation, what's your motive? So ask yourself, what is my motive for this meditation? And be honest. You know, do you want to find clarity? Do you just want to find peace? Do you want to find, like, what are you looking for your meditation? Do you want to calm your mind? There's always a motive to your meditation, and it's okay to have a motive, even if it is just to be present. You know, is this a present meditation? Do I want to get present? Do I want to do an affirmation? What's your motive? And then after the meditation, journal your session if you can. Like, how did you feel? What did you learn? It just really helps to process your meditations in your mind, because you're going to get insights when you meditate. You're going to get answers. You'll be like, holy shit, I needed this. So write it down afterwards. My mentor tells me, think on paper. Get it out of your head, think on paper, write it down. Okay, I'm going to stop for any questions. I'm going to look at the chat here. Any questions you got? We went over a lot here. Let's see. Nicole says, any suggestions on how to deal with intrusive thoughts that cause you to lose focus on the meditation? Or just does that come with practice? So I'll go over that. But the best way for intrusive thoughts, the first way, is to just allow those thoughts to be. You just watch your thoughts like you're watching a movie. You just see the thoughts roll in and roll out. There's nothing to do or control the thoughts. Now, if it's really intrusive, it's coming up, you're watching them and really intrusive, one of the best ways for intrusive thoughts is to be like, not fucking right now. Like, I'm just not even giving you energy. Not doing it. And then those intrusive thoughts will kind of go away. So there's two different strategies for that. I will go over it a little bit because we're going to do some meditation here soon. But the first for intrusive thoughts is just watch them. Like you're imagining a TV screen when you close your eyes. You imagine a TV screen, and on that TV screen is your thoughts. They can be their intrusive thoughts, and you just watch them. You observe them. You're just the witness to them. Nothing to do or control with them. So you can try that out. Other ways is just not giving it any attention or time or energy. You're just like, fuck you. I'm not doing this today. Intrusive thoughts, and focusing on your breathing. Because we'll get into that. Your breath is the foundation. And I got breathing techniques to show you that are foundational for your practice that you start with. So good question. Let's see here. Spim says, do you set a motive every day for a 2-minute meditation? Yeah, I would recommend setting a motive for even a 2-minute meditation. What am I looking? What do I need for my meditation? It's like an intention you set. Is it just to breathe for this 2 minutes? Do I want to be relaxed? Or do I just want to sit here and meditate and just see what comes to my mind and see what happens in my thoughts? So yeah, even if it's 2 minutes, but again, you don't have to do this every time. If you miss setting your motive every once, it's okay. Just to get there and sit, that is a big win for you. Let's see. Jody says, wondering about working with middle school and high school students, especially before taking tests. Can you share any thoughts on this? Yeah, I would show them like a breathing technique, which I'll go over here. I would just show them 1 or 2 breathing techniques. Just come back to your breath. Okay, one more question for Darren. Says, you mentioned movement meditation. Do you spend any time practicing walking meditation or just mindful walking? I do spend time doing walking meditation. I have a walking meditation practice every morning. So what I do is I meditate and then I go for a walk. So during my walk, I ask myself a question. Maybe it's something that I'm looking to solve. I just ask myself a question and then I go for a walk. There was a great TED talk that talked about jump-starting creativity. And the best way they found, they did studies on this, the best way to find to boost your creativity is to ask yourself a question or have an idea and then go for a walk. Something about moving your body, getting both brain hemispheres, just stimulates that creativity. I can't tell you how many ideas for like content, how many problems I've solved, like work, all this stuff, personal life, is just the walking meditation, asking yourself a question. Now, getting into that, I'm going on my squirrel, chasing a squirrel here. So the best way to communicate with your unconscious mind is through questions. That's the best way to communicate with your unconscious mind. So just like Google, when you ask yourself the right question to Google, right, you get different answers. It's just our brain's a fucking algorithm. Anything we create in technology, it's based on our neurology. So when we ask ourselves the right questions, we get different answers. So I'm glad you brought that up, Darren. Ask yourself the question when you go on a walk and see what happens. Just mindful, just allowing it to come. And then also there's just really good mindful meditations where another one that I recommend is when you're out on a walk, look at the plants and trees and just imagine their roots. Just imagine their root system whenever you're out for a walk, and just imagine their roots. And that's a good grounding meditation when you're going for a walk. It's like, man, all these plants here, all these trees like have such a deep root system. And then I feel grounded here. All right, let's move on. Good questions, everybody. So let's talk about the reticular activating system. And this is a great lead in because we were talking about questions. So what is the reticular activating system? The reticular activating system, you can call it RAS for short, is located in the brainstem, which is the lower part of the brain that connects the spinal cord to the cerebral cortex. So the RAS plays a crucial role in maintaining wakefulness, alertness, and attention. And it's essential for normal cognitive and behavioral functioning. So what the fuck does that mean? You're like, Yogi Bryan, come on. What does this mean? So your reticular activating system is like the bouncer at a club. It's only going to let what you want to let in. All right. So our conscious mind has this reticular activating system. It's only going to let what you're looking for to come in. And let's do a practice on that. So let's start the practice. We're going to do some mindfulness practices now. So the first one is what you seek, you find. So just close your eyes right now. Just close your eyes if you can. If you're driving, maybe don't do this. Just close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, open the mouth side out. Just arrive. And in just a moment, you'll open your eyes and you'll find all the red in your space. You'll open your eyes and you'll find all the color red in your space. Now, open your eyes, look around, find all the color red. Did you see any green? And you're probably realizing like, oh, you found some red that might be orange, but you're like, that's red. So that's your reticular activating system. So your reticular activating system is that part whenever, like say you buy a new car, right? You buy a new car and then you see this car on the road. Everybody has this car. You're like, I've never seen this car before. This is my car. Or you're playing like the slug bug game. You're like, let's look for a yellow bug. And then you find it. So this is a meditation. This is awareness. Awareness is the key. Remember, what you seek, you find. This is one of the most powerful practices I've learned is the power of attention. And if you look through a lot of religions, a lot of philosophies, it comes back to what you seek, you find. Because what you're looking for, you're going to find it. It's just your reticular activating system. How many things do we don't see out there, right? We didn't see the car before until we're looking for the red car. We probably didn't notice all that red in our room, in our space, until we're looking for it. So that's why it's very important to set intentions in the morning. It's beneficial to meditate in the morning because what you seek, you find. So awareness is the key. And coming back to just the basics of why we meditate is the awareness. What are we looking for? What are we going to find? You know that saying, like, once you're ready, the teacher appears? Well, once you're looking for it, the teacher appears. Once you're looking to manifest or looking to make a change, things appear for you because it's always been here anyways, just in hypnotherapy, hypnosis. My teacher talks to me about that. Your unconscious mind is timeless, it's limitless, and our conscious mind has the filters. So our reticular activating system is just filtering out what we want to see. So really everything's here for us. So that's the power of meditation. Once you realize, you clear up your conscious mind and you realize what I'm looking for, it appears for you. It's like, it's always been here. Powerful. All right, let's do another mindful practice here. So whenever you're ready, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just arrive. And in just a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I wonder if you can use that hearing of yours. And I wonder if you can count the different channels, the different sounds that you can hear in your environment. And in just a moment, you'll count the different sounds. You'll count as many sounds that you can hear. Now, listen, hear the sounds, count all the channels. And come back. Just come back. Open your eyes. Come back to the present moment right here. I just want you to notice the sounds that you heard. And I wonder if there were sounds that you didn't notice before. There's probably sounds that you didn't notice before because we weren't listening to them. Because our reticular activating system was focused on me, this presentation, that you didn't hear the buzzing of the refrigerator, or you didn't hear the kids talking outside, or you didn't hear the cars out in the distance. So that's the power of awareness. And this is a meditation on its own. You can sit in your place, or you can sit in a park and you can just listen to all the sounds. And you're going to realize, wow, I'm hearing so much more. Sometimes this can be a little bit overwhelming because you're like, oh, all this input's coming in. I block it out usually. But it's just awareness. And that's mindfulness, is just being aware. What do you hear? What's inside of your awareness? And then this is how you do it. So you just take a seat and listen to the sounds in your environment, and you count every single channel of sound. You'll notice sounds that weren't there. And this is mindful listening. You can get a little bit more into it. You could do like your senses. You can use all of your senses. What do I see? What do I see in front of me? What do I hear? What do I taste? What do I smell? And that alone can take you out of a spiraling panic attack. It's just coming back to the present moment. What am I seeing right now? Oh, I'm seeing this mirror. Okay. Describe the mirror. This is what the mirror looks like. What do I hear? Oh, I hear buzzing of the air conditioner. What do I smell? Maybe nothing. What do I taste? Maybe nothing. But that just gets you back to the present moment. Okay, next practice is body awareness. So find that comfortable place. Let's do this practice. Close your eyes whenever you're ready. And just notice your breathing. Nothing to do or control with your breathing. Just notice your breath. Notice your inhale and your exhale. And ask yourself, how does my breath feel? Is it smooth or choppy, or shallow or deep? How does my breath feel? Now bring your attention and awareness to your body. And take a scan of your body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. And just notice your body, scan your body. Notice how your body feels. Notice where you feel any tension. And ask yourself, how does my body feel? Now bring your attention and awareness to your thoughts. And just watch your thoughts like you're watching a TV show. Maybe imagining a TV. And just watch your thoughts on the TV screen. Roll in and roll out. And nothing to do or control with your thoughts. Just watch your thoughts. Be the witness to your thoughts. Now take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. Come on back, opening your eyes. Wake up, everybody. Probably felt really good, huh? Nice relaxation, meditation. So that's body awareness for you. And these practices that I just did, especially this body awareness, this can be your foundation of your meditation. So your body awareness, just checking in with yourself. So you find a comfortable place where you can keep your body still, where you can lie down on your back or remain seated. And you bring your attention and awareness to your breath, your natural breath. So there's no breath work here, nothing to do or control with your breathing. There's no practice or anything. It's just, how does your breath feel? Checking in with yourself, right? Some of you are probably like, dang, my breath's choppy, or I'm holding my breath, or it's not smooth. Well, it's just being aware that your breath is choppy, being aware that your breath isn't smooth. Your body knows what to do. So your body smooths it out all on its own, just being aware of it. So you bring your attention and awareness to your breath, nothing to do or control with your breathing, just observing it. And then you bring your attention and awareness to your body. So you just take a scan of your body, notice your body, check in with your body. Where's the tension that I feel in my body? How does my body feel? Because I know most of us don't check in with our body. We're just walking heads. We're all caught up in our head. It's like, get in our body. Like, how does it feel? Where's the tension at? Oh shit, my shoulders are fucking tense. And just being aware of them, you start to relax them. And then bring your attention to your thoughts. So you just watch your thoughts like you're watching a movie. Nothing to do or control with your thoughts. Watching them, be the witness. Imagining a TV screen, just watching them. And this is the basic meditation that you can do for the 2 minutes to start. Check in with your breath. Check in with your body. Watch your thoughts. Check in with your mind. So awareness to the breath, awareness to the body, awareness to the mind. That's your foundation. Pretty fucking easy, right? Questions? Let's look at the chat here. Or if there's anything you want to share about the practices, like what you heard, or any questions you got, any comments? Let's see. Sue says, the second I focus on my breath, it becomes manual versus autonomic. It's frustrating. What's frustrating about it? Selena says, is meditating a way of entering the unconscious mind? It is. It is. Darren says, really like that hearing awareness. Awesome. Did you hear something different? Like, did you hear something new? Awesome. Allison, I feel you on that. Sometimes hearing awareness sends me into overstimulation. Yes, I feel that. And maybe it's just not for you. Auntie Wagner says, if focus on my breath, my mind goes, look, it's a squirrel. It seems so hard to concentrate. I hear you on that. It's a practice too, right? We do this over and over again, and then we can get into it. So Keno McGregor, one of my favorite teachers, she's on YouTube. She says, she does her yoga practice. She does the practice for when she needs the practice in her crazy, hectic, or not her crazy, hectic life, just in life, right? So we do the meditation practice, we do the breathing, we do the awareness. So when we fucking need it, when we're like, oh, wow, I'm having a panic attack, or, oh, I'm stressed out, let me come back to the breath. It's easier for us to do this practice seated in a comfortable environment, but we do this practice when we go out to the real world to really help us release the fucks. So yeah, keep practicing it. Just come back to the breath. Let's see. I'm looking at the comments here. Chris Sanborn says, yes, this would be good to quick refocus at work. Perfect. Yeah, quick refocus at work. You can do this in 2 minutes. Check in with the breath, check in with the body, check in with mind. Sue says, I find I'm holding my breath. Jessica says, this is so insightful and helpful. I'm so lucky to be here and learning this. Awesome. I'm going to take one more question here. Penny says, as a hypnotherapist, I'm great at doing this for others, but sometimes struggle to spend time on myself. I'm the same way. It's like I can make all these meditations. It's like, oh, I got to do it too. Easy to help others. That's good you're doing it. Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is breathing practices. Love it. The foundation. The foundation. So there's a fuck ton of breathing practices. I'm just sharing a few. So there's this breathing practices and pranayama. That's a whole workshop on its own. There's a lot of breathing practices. Maybe you have your own breathing practice. That's great. Awesome. There's so many, but here are just some beginner breathing meditations. So box breathing, square breath, or if you're like in a geometry, rhombus breath. I didn't like geometry. I'm like, why am I learning about shapes and shit? And it didn't really help me. So box breathing. So you inhale a 4 count, you hold a 4 count, you exhale a 4 count, you hold a 4 count. See, get it? That's why they call it box breathing. It's like a box. So let's try it. Mouth closed. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's box breathing. You can do this for 2 minutes. This could be your meditation, is just focusing on this breathing technique. This is a great way to get back to the present moment. It's a great stress reliever, and it's a good foundation for your practice. If you're like all anxious and your breathing is shallow or choppy, go into box breathing. So it's great to do in the car or when you're road raging, or if you're waiting in line and somebody in front of you has like a fuck ton of coupons and one of them doesn't work, right? That always happens to me. I'm like, just let's go. And I'm like, oh, I can box breathe instead of rage out. So this is a great practice here. This is pretty much a lifesaver for me. This is a stress and anxiety relief breathing technique. So how to do it is with your mouth closed, you breathe in through your nose a 4 count. You hold your breath a 2 count. You exhale out your mouth a 6 count. Now you can do any variation as long as you keep your exhale longer than your inhale. Doing this stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. You're like, what the hell is that, Yogi Bryan? That's basically your nervous system that is your rest and digest. Your nervous system that, let's go back. So normally we're in fight or flight throughout the day. We're trying to get shit done, fight or flight. This is the rest and digest. Helps you relax. It dilates your blood vessels so you get blood flow throughout your body. When you get blood flow throughout your body, blood flow heals, gives nutrients to your body. It also helps you digest. So you digest your food when you're in your parasympathetic nervous system because you feel safe. When you feel safe, your blood can start flowing. Because normally when you're in fight or flight, your blood's like to your legs or to your arms. You're just like trying to get away from the tiger. And hopefully none of you have pet tigers. But if you do, that's probably why you're in fight or flight. But this gets you out of panic attacks. So if you struggle with anxiety, panic, you're having a panic attack, do this breathing technique. You wake up at 3 a.m. sweating like, holy fuck, do this breathing technique. So let's try it. Mouth closed, inhale through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, exhale out the mouth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mouth closed, inhale 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 1, 2, open the mouth, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do this a few on your own. And release it. So this is a lifesaver. I struggle with panic attacks myself. I still do. And what I've found with the practice, with meditation practice, with yoga, is I can nip the panic attack in the bud quick. Like I've had a panic attack when I'm teaching a yoga class. No one even knew about it because I came back to this breath, came back to the practice. And again, it comes back to that awareness. What am I looking at? I'm here in the present moment. Okay. Normally the panic attack or the anxiety is caused by not breathing, right? If we're not holding our breath, we go in fight or flight. So it's like, once you get back to steady breath, once we get back to breath like this, where our exhales are longer, our body just naturally, it's neurology. it naturally starts to relax. You're like, oh, wow, my stress is going away. My heartbeat is lowering. So such a great breath. And you can play around with it too. Maybe it's inhale 2 counts, hold 1, exhale 6 counts. It really doesn't matter with the number. This is just the sequence that I've learned from my teacher. But as long as you have that longer exhale, it stimulates that parasympathetic nervous system. Ocean breath, or Ujjayi pranayama breath. This is an amazing breath. This is a good breath to do when you're like walking or doing a yoga practice or seated. So this breath is both energizing and relaxing. So it gives you energy, but it relaxes you at the same time. It's a great equalizer breath. So yeah, if you're feeling too anxious, this will calm you down. If you're feeling too tired and you need to pick me up, this will bring you up. I love it. And it's called ocean breath. You know why? Because it sounds like the ocean. So we're going to do this in just a moment, but your inhales are going to sound like waves forming against the shore, and the exhales sound like waves crashing against the shore. So it's such a calming breath. You feel like you're at the ocean. Like, I'm in Arizona, there's no oceans around here. I'm like, cool, I can do a breathing technique, be in the ocean. Also, it's called Darth Vader breath because you sound like Darth Vader. If you're on the dark side, fuckers, I see you. So let's practice it. So what you'll do is the mouth will be closed. You'll inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, you're going to open your mouth and you're going to constrict the throat like you're fogging up a mirror. You know how you fog up a mirror, you constrict your throat, you're like, ah. So let's try it. Mouth closed, inhale. Exhale, constrict the throat, open the mouth, fog up the mirror. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, open the mouth, fog the mirror. So what you'll do is you'll keep that same breath, but you'll keep the mouth closed. And you'll constrict the throat and you'll sound like you're fogging up the mirror, but the mouth will be closed. You're going to breathe out through the nose. So let's try it. Inhale, mouth closed. Exhale, keep the mouth closed, constrict the throat, fog that mirror. You hear it? Inhale sounds like waves forming against the shore. Exhale, constrict the throat, sounds like waves crashing against the shore. Keep doing that a few times. And release it. Feels good, doesn't it? Back to the present moment. It's amazing. I wish I learned this stuff when I was little. I didn't learn mindful breathing until literally 5 years ago. I could have used a lot of this shit when I was freaking out as a kid. So teach this to your children, teach this to family, teach this to your students. I mean, it's just breathing. It really is. Box breath or the stress reliever breath or this breath. Okay, questions, comments on anything so far? Darth Vader breath, Tanya? Yes. Lizzie, you're so welcome. Said thank you for these. Jessica says, what is the difference of breathing through the mouth versus the nose? So it's just breathing out the mouth, especially on the stress reliever breath, is just more of a release. It's just more of a relaxation compared to ocean breath, where it gives you the equalizer. You're breathing out through the nose, but it gives you like the equalizer. It gives you energy as well. Penny says, during my yoga, my yogi often gets us to use alternate nostril breath. That's so great too. Yep, that's a great breathing technique too. Alternate nostril breath. Look that up online if you want. I'm not going to go over that on this class, but yeah, great breathing technique too. Courtney says, this shit is life-changing. Awesome. You're welcome, a fuck ton. Annabelle says, I work with K through second graders, hoping the breathing techniques help them. Yes. There's a great breathing technique for the kids is you just have them inhale and have them open their mouth and act like they're blowing out a candle. It just gets them back to the present moment. It gets them to breathe. So, hey, let's pretend like we're going to blow out a candle. Inhale, exhale, blow out the candle. So that's a good technique for kids. Sarah says, when I do counter breathing, I get dizzy. Yeah, so maybe you have to count a little shorter. So maybe just do like 2 on the inhale and 2 on the exhale. Or maybe just match your inhales with your exhales and don't count at all. So it's just mouth closed. Just try and match your inhales with your exhales and not count, if that helps. Tina says, I have asthma and find that this technique helps fend off attacks, and I'm mindful enough to catch them. Yes. Awesome, Tina. Julie says, or teach them to blow on their fingertips for the kids. Yes, I like that. Sarah, you're welcome. Is this helpful at all so far? Helpful? Yeah, I'm seeing some nods. No one's flipping me off yet. That's cool. That's awesome. I think everybody understands. Like normally when I first started doing practicing yoga, teaching yoga, I'd have like 1 or 2 people rage leave. It happens. Awesome, Penny. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Let's move on. I really love doing these. I'm glad you're all here. Really love doing this stuff. Understanding brainwaves. So I nerd out on this stuff. This is going to be a brief overview on brainwave states, because once you start meditating, you're going to realize that you drop down a little lower. Drop in a little bit more when you meditate. You're going to be like, whoa, time went so fast here. I went deep into my unconscious mind. Now, meditation gets you into that unconscious area. Now, we're programmed all throughout our life, right? Our unconscious mind is just like a computer program. It's been programmed since we're born. And normally the deep programming happened from age 3 to 5. Like that's when all the fucked up shit happened. And it might not even have been like that rough. But that's where our programming happened, is age 3 to 5. And you'll see why in a moment, understanding brainwaves. Now, when we drop in to relax and drop in lower, we can reprogram our unconscious mind. I have a lot of meditations that I've done to reprogram the unconscious mind. I've shared some of the ones with you that I do, and it's completely life-changing. So your body is the subconscious mind. So not just our heads, our body is the subconscious mind. Our body is electricity. And our brains produce electrical currents, and the electrical currents change based on our consciousness. I didn't make this shit up. Science. Your brain fluctuates between brain waves throughout the day from delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. So let's go through this. So the brain waves, they're electrical patterns defined by frequency. They're measured in cycles by number of times the neurons are firing per second, vary in amplitude, lower amplitude as they speed up. So amplitude is from top to bottom, and then frequency is from left to right. So the higher your frequency, the more it's like going up and down, is the more alert you are. So let's start with delta. So this is delta brainwaves. So delta brainwaves are the greatest in amplitude and the lowest in frequency. So they're going like up and down, but very slow. They're not like, they're just going very slow. It's like up and down. And this is when we're sleeping. We're in delta. So deep sleep, delta. We're in delta from when we're born to 2 years old. So that's why we don't remember shit, because we're pretty much asleep from birth to 2 years old. So we're in delta. So when you see a little baby that's under 2, they're not remembering shit, but they're in delta. Their unconscious mind's still alert, because when you're sleeping, your unconscious mind is awake. It's processing things, getting our heartbeat. It's taking an input, but it's just at a deep unconscious level. So theta, this is the fun area and where we get in during meditation. So theta brainwaves, it's a state where tasks are so automatic that you can mentally disengage from them. So this is the state when you first wake up in the morning and you're kind of like here nor there, right? You're like in your dream world. Are you like awake or not? You're just coming out of sleep. It's a state of mental relaxation and it's prone to a flow of ideas. This is like where daydreaming happens. It's like when we're watching TV. That's why they call it TV programming, because we get relaxed and we go into these lower brain states and it just programs the fuck out of our mind. So when I first started learning about this, I'm like, wow, what am I watching? Like, oh, I'm watching the news all the time. Like, no wonder I'm freaked out all the time. Or like I'm watching like these commercials that are telling me like I'm not shit. Like, no wonder I'm feeling like shit, right? This theta brainwaves are from ages 2 to 6 years old. So think about it. 2 to 6 years old was when you first started having your first memories. This is where the computer programming happens. This is where we programmed them, like what we're doing today is from here. This is where when you go into deep meditation, you can reprogram your unconscious mind. You can say those affirmations. You can ask yourself those questions. You become aware of what your programming is. It's one of the great things about meditation, especially during my practices. I'm like, oh, wow, this is why I do that. Okay, how can I change it? Theta waves. The next is alpha. So you're asleep, you're in delta, and then you're just waking up. You're in theta, like daydreaming state. The next step is alpha. So this is still you're in a state of mental relaxation and you're prone to a flow of ideas, but you're just starting to wake up a little bit more. Alpha brainwaves, they're slow, they're high in amplitude, and they represent non-arousal here. So you're still relaxed. And so when we go into meditation, we drop down a little bit, then we're in alpha. And then if we get deep enough, we get to theta. And if we're really deep, we fall asleep into delta. You see? And we can go back and forth, up and down throughout the meditation. You can go back up and down. You might not stay in one for longer. And I'm just giving this as like a brief overview. This can get really deep, but I just want you to know this when you're going into meditation and you keep practicing, you can really change that subconscious mind. So we're in alpha states from 5 to 8 years old. So we're just starting to wake up a little bit more. 5 to 8 years old, we're getting an alpha. And then the next is beta. So that's where we're at right now. Beta brainwaves. We're here, we're awake, we're focused, we're capable of logical thought. And beta starts when we're ages 8 through 12. So like when we're starting to get in teenage years, those awkward years. Fuck, I hated it. I didn't want to think of it. I'm gonna have to meditate now. Good old puberty. So beta waves, a strongly engaged mind. We spend most of our time here in beta. So we start a meditation practice, we're in beta. We start to do our breath work. We start to relax, focusing on our body, focusing on our thoughts. And then we drop down a little bit, maybe to alpha. Maybe we drop down to theta. Maybe we come back up to beta. Maybe we come back down to alpha. Maybe we fall asleep. But it's good with meditation as you can drop down into those states, become more aware, see what's happening in your programming, and then you can do affirmations, mantras, or practices to make a subconscious change. Because they say 98% of our reality is controlled by our unconscious mind that we're not aware of. And then gamma, this is a pretty intense, we're not really here that much in gamma. Normally like drug induced or like a seizure would get you into gamma, but you can, if you get really deep into meditation, you get into gamma, which this is like peak concentration. So if you're like intense focus, you're really in a flow state, your brain waves are like really all over the place. So it's not really like a goal in meditation to get here. It just happens from what I've learned. But substances definitely help you get there. That's a different workshop. All right, that was a lot. Any comments, questions? What you got for me? Miss Freeman says, I can't wait to have my 11-year-old son listen to this recording. I feel you. I have a 12-year-old and I try and teach him all this shit. And he's like, Dad, shut up. Shut up with your mustache. Let's see. Andrea says, do you think that peeps with ADHD are in gamma with their laser focus? They can be. Yeah. Selena, let me see your question here. When do you know that you have entered the unconscious mind while meditating? You feel it. You feel it. Like you just feel more relaxed. And as you practice more, like I can feel when I'm dropped in. Like I can feel like time just goes by so fast. Like your 20-minute meditation may only feel like 3 minutes. And even though I meditate quite like consistently, sometimes I don't even get into like theta. Like I'm just in beta the whole time. And I'm just like struggling with just focusing on my breath. You'll feel when you just like drop into it. And maybe when in one of these meditations that I do in this workshop, you'll feel it. And that's why I explained it to you, just to know where you're at. So just knowing where your brain waves are, you can be like, oh, wow, I'm dropped down a little bit lower. And then you forget about time. Then those are the best meditations where you just forget that you have an alarm set and then the alarm goes off. Let's see here. Caroline says, I used to be able to get there easily and now I have a hard time getting there. I understand that. I feel that there's a point in a meditation practice where you kind of take 5 steps back. And that's happened to me. My teacher told me that's going to happen. Sometimes you get really into meditation. You're good. And then it's like, oh, it hurts to do. And then it's like, you got to change it up a little bit. Maybe do a 10-minute meditation or maybe do walking meditation. Tanya, thank you. Let's see here. Miss Freeman says, is coming out of meditation with an alarm overwhelming? It can be. It can be overwhelming. I recommend a timer, but if you have like unlimited time or just like a space to just not have a timer, those have been my best meditations where I didn't have a timer. I just sat there and I was just breathing and getting into it and getting deeper, because you just never know what your body needs every day. So it's like, I'm pretty rigid with 20 minutes, but sometimes I'll like free flow it. And those have been my best meditations. Sue says, what word would you use to describe feeling it? I would use the word zoning out when you feel it. For example, when you're almost, you know how like when you're watching TV, you're just zoned out and you like don't have any clue about time. You're just like, holy crap. the whole Netflix thing, like, are you still there, happens, you're like, wow, I'm into it. Or those times where you're like driving and then you kind of zone out and you miss your overpass. Like that's kind of in the zone. You were in an alpha or theta zone where you were just daydreaming. So it's kind of daydreaming. Does that make sense? Yes, Tanya, like when you feel like you're stoned after class, that's exactly it. Autopilot, boom. Exactly. Oh yeah, I do like with the timer, I do like a bell. So like the bell just dings and then I can come out of the meditation. I don't have like an actual like iPhone timer that does it. The state that's the best for subconscious reprogramming is theta. That's like pretty much like opening a window to your unconscious mind. Jody says, when I see myself making choices as opposed to reacting is when I find the real benefit. Yes, when you can choose and you're not like reacting from emotion. Awesome discussion here. Let's move on. Let's see, Tony, I'm going to read this one. Thank you so much for all the great information. I love all the variety and options for meditation. It's so liberating and makes me feel like I can do this anytime. Yes. Okay, let's see what's next. We got. Okay, let's go over binaural beats. So these binaural beats is a great way to listen to like meditation music because it gets you deeper into your meditation practice. I use binaural beats in most of my meditations. So it basically, let me just read this here. So according to Psychology Today, when two tones of slightly different frequencies are played in separate ears simultaneously through headphones, the human brain perceives a creation of a new third tone whose frequency is equivalent to the difference between the two tones. So what that means is you have headphones on, and just an example, say a frequency of 3 is in the right ear and a frequency of 1 is in the left ear. Your brain creates the frequency of 2. And I'm just making it very easy for the numbers, but it's usually like, a frequency of 596 hertz is like what you'll find on YouTube. And you can just listen to that with headphones without like a guide, and it drops you into like that frequency. So this is great for like a sleep aid. Also, DJ Taz Rashid, his Elements album on Spotify is amazing. It's also on Apple, everywhere you stream it. But DJ Taz Rashid, Elements, or you can find these all on YouTube. And I'm going to go over some. So here are some of the frequencies. Looking too happy. Here we go. Here we go. 396. And this is hertz. And you can type all these into YouTube. I highly recommend YouTube for like, if you just want to find binaural beats. Spotify is also great too. So basically, these give you relief with certain conditions. So 396 hertz, and you can take a screenshot of this. That helps release grief into joy, liberating guilt and fear. So you can try it out. You can put headphones on, you can find 396 hertz music, and you can really feel the release from grief. I mean, try it out if you don't believe me. Try it on your own. 417 hertz, that's undoing situations and facilitating change. 528 hertz, my favorite. I have these on a lot of my meditations. It's like the love frequency. Transformation and miracles. It repairs DNA. It's like the love and abundance frequency. And honestly, if you're in a fucked up mood, throw on 528 hertz and you'll like probably start to cry with joy. I'm not going to say that's happened to me, but maybe it has. 639 hertz helps with relationships, connection with the spiritual family. 741 expression, solutions, cleansing, and solving. If you need some solving in your life, some problem solving, 741. 852, returning to spiritual order. That helps the next day. If it's like a Friday night, you got crazy, need to return to spiritual order after all those White Claws. 852, baby. I've never done that either. 174 reduces pain. It could really help you out with your pain. 174. 285 influence energy fields. And 963 enlightenment and transformation. I've tried that one and it's a trip. Like it's trippy. Like you really feel like you're getting out of your body. And your chakra tones. Relax your asshole chakra right there. Write down that quote. So here are some of the tones for your different chakras. And you can take a screenshot of this. I got this right down here, the chakra tones. There's a link for it. But yeah, if you want to work on your chakras for like root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, if you need healing that way, I'm not going into this, but I'll probably do a workshop on chakras soon. But yeah, here are the different tones. And you can search these. And if you're like, I need to work on my root chakra, you can just put this music on, focus on your breathing, and just listen to the music. And that's a great meditation on its own. So yeah, if you want to take a screenshot, also, I'll be putting on the replay on YouTube. Good old chakras. All right, questions on the binaural beats. They're my favorite. Sue, thank you. Jody, yeah, I don't send these slides out, but I will, when I have it on YouTube, and I'm also going to put it on my app as a free replay. Maybe you can take a thing with your computer. I mean, your phone. That works. Chakra workshop. Maybe I'll have to do that. Stay tuned. Cher says, so fucking helpful. Thank you. Any questions so far? We're going to get into some meditations here next. Give you a nice little treat. The next one is a safe place meditation. You're going to find your safe place. Binaural beats don't work without headphones. It needs that both frequencies. So it needs, it just, without headphones, it sounds jarring. Like it's just a jarring sound. Be like, I want to strangle you, Yogi Bryan, with your jarring meditation music. I listen to them for 20 minutes when I do my meditations. I have, I started with like, there's a 528 hertz continuous ohm on YouTube that I listen to. That's amazing. And then I mainly listen to 528 hertz. I throw it on in the background. Tanya, awesome, says it's just fucking meditation is the only meditation series that I've been able to habitually come back to. You rock. Shannon says, when doing guided meditation, is it best to do it with headphones? I feel like, for me personally, it helps me drop into my unconscious mind, but that's just me. You got to try it out and see if that works for you. Maybe not having headphones on and just listening to like gentle nature sounds might work for you. From what I found and just from what I've studied, binaural beats gets you deeper into the meditation. And I use that with my meditations, like especially like my sleep meditations. It just gets you to sleep fast and relax. Anything else before we do this final meditation? It's called the safe place meditation. And maybe grab your Kleenex because it can be emotional, but it's your safe place. So it's good. Nicole, yes, all the meditations are on my app. But I also have Relax with Yogi Bryan podcast on Spotify everywhere. And then it's just fucking meditation podcast. Jessica's already emotional. Buckle up. Buckle up. Yeah, we'll do this next meditation and then I'm going to stay on to like process anything. Because yeah, it is pretty deep, but this is my gift to you all to find your safe place. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So find your comfortable space, your comfortable spot. Put on some music here for you. And you can turn your camera off for this because this will be about a 15-ish minute meditation. So you can turn your camera off if you like. Just get all comfortable. Maybe take some movements. Get all the nervous energy out of your system. And then once you find that comfortable place, softly, gently, close your eyes. Softly, gently close your eyes and clear away any expectations you have for this meditation. Like you're wiping away a chalkboard or a dry erase board, just clear away all your expectations. Any to-do lists you have for your day, clear those away. Because during this meditation, all you have to do is breathe and listen to the sound of my voice. And at any time during this meditation, if your mind wanders, that's okay. Just come back to my voice and your breathing. And there's no right or wrong way to do this meditation. Now bring your attention and awareness to your breathing. Just notice your breath. Observe your breath. Notice how your breath feels. Now start to take control of your breathing, finding a steady, comfortable, natural, and intuitive breath. A comfortable, steady, natural, and intuitive breath for you. Once you find that steady, natural breath, you realize you're arriving. You realize you're here in the present moment, completely relaxing. And now bring your attention and awareness to your body. And just notice your body. Observe your body. And just notice how your body feels. And take a scan of your body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. And as you scan your body, notice any tension you feel in your body. And once you notice any tension you feel in your body, send your awareness to that tension. Send your breath to that tension. And once you send your awareness to that tension, once you send your breath to that tension starts to fade the fuck away. That tension starts to dissolve into space, completely relaxing the body, feeling a wave of relaxation all throughout your body. And in just a moment, I wonder if you can imagine a TV screen. And on that TV screen is your thoughts. And in just a moment, you'll watch your thoughts on this TV screen like you're watching a movie. And there's nothing to do or control with your thoughts. You're just watching. You're the witness to your thoughts on the TV screen. Now, imagine yourself watching your thoughts on this TV screen. Be the witness like you're watching a TV show. And your thoughts roll in and roll out. And as you watch your thoughts on the TV screen gets smaller and smaller. Your thoughts on this TV screen get smaller and smaller, so small now, until you just can't see your thoughts anymore. Completely relaxing the mind, turning the volume all the way down, 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 deeper and deeper, down, down, fully relaxing as you breathe, as you listen to the sound of my voice. And in just a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, I wonder if you can find a safe place. It could be a time in your childhood, or maybe it's a current time, or maybe it's a make-believe place. One person I know, her safe place is on a sandy beach with her feet in the sand as she's gazing out into the horizon as the sun is starting to set. Another person's safe place I know is on his favorite hiking trail in the woods, in the forest, with tall, tall trees on each side. And in just a moment, I wonder if you can find your safe place. First thing that comes to your mind, even if you need to make it up. Now, go to your safe place. And notice where you are. If you're with anybody, it's a time where you felt so safe and so secure. Maybe you make it up. Now allow the picture to fade away. Let's stay with the feeling of this safe energy. There's a place in your body you feel this safe energy. You feel this unconditional love. Pinpoint exactly where in the body you feel this safe energy. It could be your heart space, or maybe your stomach, maybe your throat, or your hands or feet. But pinpoint exactly where in your body you feel this safe energy. And once you know exactly where you feel this safe energy in your body, you may see a color. First color that comes to your mind, first color you see. It could be one color or multiple colors, or maybe you don't see a color at all. But if you were to see a color, what color would it be? And now allow this color to float out of your body. Allow this color, this safe energy, this love to float out of your body. And as it floats out of your body, this color starts to expand from wall to wall, floor to ceiling. This safe energy fills up your entire room with this love, this safe energy. Fills up your entire room and starts to rain down on your body. Fills up every single cell of your body, every single muscle fiber. Full of this color, full of this safety, full of this love. Feel the sensations in your body. Some people feel a tingling up and down their spine. Some people feel heat, warmth. They start to sweat. Other people may start to cry. Just feel this safe energy, this color, all throughout your body. Breathe it all in. And taking this energy with you throughout your day. This safety, this color, and knowing you can always come back to your safe place whenever you need it. You can always come back to this safe energy whenever you need it. Now start to come back now. Come all the way back to the present moment. Come all the way back to your body. All the way back to your breath, all the way back to the sound of my voice, coming all the way back now. All the way back now. As you're coming all the way back, you're taking this energy with you. This safe energy. Feels so fucking good. And take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh it. Do it again. Inhale deeply through your nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Whenever you're ready, coming on back. Coming all the way back, opening your eyes. Maybe wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, shaking out the head, shaking out the shoulders. Thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to share any experiences, if you got any questions, I'm going to stick around the next 5 minutes. And if you check out the Relax with Yogi Bryan app, if you like, I'm going to put this on there afterwards. I'm going to put it for free. You don't have to subscribe to it. But if you do want to subscribe, I'm doing a lightning sale today, 50% off annual and lifetime. But most of you are already on the app. You got my text notification today. But I really appreciate you all coming on. I want you to share this with your friends and family. And that's why I'm doing it for free. I'm going to put it on YouTube. Share this with your friends and family. Practice this over and over again. You know, this is just your start of your journey. If you're really new and you haven't meditated before, I promise you this is life-changing. Challenge yourself to 90 days. And maybe you're like me, maybe day 77, it'll click and you'll never stop. then maybe you'll start your own meditation podcast, and then maybe you'll want to help the world release 1 trillion fucks. Outdo me. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I love all the love here. Thank you. Adrian, yeah, the link, it's already on the link that gets you annual 50% off or lifetime. And I update the app once a week. I normally have a new meditation there. Oh yeah, let me put in the link here. Let me pin it, I think. So welcome, everybody. I'm trying to get to any questions if you got any. Let's see. Maeve says, what kind of music was playing since binaural beats needs headphones? Actually, I use non-binaural beats on this meditation, but this is the Elements album by DJ Taz Rashid. So if you search on whatever you're streaming, just search up DJ Taz, T-A-Z, and then his last name's R-A-S-H-I-D, and it's Elements. Elements. This is my go-to album. I use most of my meditations with this album. Amber, yes, can't wait. I'm also doing a meditation teacher training in April. If anybody's interested, it's open to everybody. So even if you're just beginners and you want to deepen your practice, or if you want to teach meditation, I'm doing a 4-week meditation teacher training starting April 5th. Check out yogibryan.com for that. Let's see. Darren says, it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed that meditation. Felt amazing coming back into the room from my safe place. Awesome. You're so welcome. Michelle says, found you after my divorce and you have helped me find so much peace. So glad to help. Been there. So I feel you. Keep it up. Kay says, when are you doing another meditation in Arizona? Love the one in Scottsdale. I'm probably going to do one end of May. Colleen, I'm going to be doing several meditations like this on the retreats, more deeper meditations, because this was just a beginner. I do an inner child meditation, which I normally do in person because that can get pretty emotional, and sometimes got to work it out afterwards. I've had people freak out on that one, but in a good way. Let's see. Kelly says, thank you. The meditation was amazing and you're hilarious. Thank you. Let's see. Allison says, any recommendations on how to stay in the meditation? I feel myself jump and come out of it. I feel it's based out of fear. I've been doing this for a while and trying to get past it. Great question. So when the fear comes up, tackle it head on if you can. Just feel it and see what it is. So a good thing when we talked about questions is ask yourself, what else could this be? So this is fear. What else could this be? And see if you can come up with 3 other things that this could be. So just like when you have a headache, right? When you have a headache, you can ask yourself, well, what are 3 things that this headache can be? Oh, I could be dehydrated. Oh, the fucking White Claws yesterday. Oh, I didn't get enough sleep. The fastest way through the pain is through the pain. So the fastest way through the fear is through the fear. Feeling it, seeing it, sitting with it. But again, that takes time. So you might have to jump out of it. You might have to get out of the meditation, but try to sit in it just a little bit longer and maybe just see what it is. See what it is, see where it's coming from. Because again, when we go deep into meditation, we can start to reprogram and become aware of what our fear is and see what it is. Hope that helps. Let's see. Darren says the inner child meditation on your podcast was the first years I tried. Never looked back. Awesome, Darren. That one's powerful. Tara says, thank you. Your personality and approach to leading yoga meditation helps me connect to my practice and feel more authentic. Boom. Thanks for that. Beth says, thank you. Grateful to learn from you and for this community. Thanks for being here. Allison says, thank you so much. It does help. This has been amazing. Can't wait to take more of your workshops. Yes, thank you. Any other questions? I'm a little over the 2 hours. I want to respect your time. I can take maybe 2 more questions. Looney says, I was surprised to find my safe space was at my parents' arms. Our relationship isn't always smooth now. So this final meditation was revealing and gave me a glimpse of how healing can be. Love it. Jessica, so the sale price on the app is already there. You just go to that link and it's already set for lifetime and annual 50% off. So check it out. Okay, one last question, and then I got to run. But I really appreciate you all here. And then if anybody's on the replay on YouTube, thank you fuckers for being here. I've had my app since May 2022. But I've been making these meditations since 2020. So it's like a combination of all the meditations I made since 2020. All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming on. Hope to see you in some future workshops. I really want to see you in the meditation teacher training. If you really want to deepen your practice, check out yogibryan.com. But see you all, everybody. Take it easy. Have a great fucking day.